So in the figure above, line L is parallel to M and line B bisects angle QRS. What is the value of X? What I've done on the right side over here is I've really just separated out this image. So that line and that line is constant in both. And this is line B and that's line A. I've just created two separate images. And you can see how that's the 40 there, there's a 40 there, the X there, there's the X there. So if I were to draw this line over here in the shadows, the B line would be going something like this, and over here for the B one the line would be going like this, and this would be A and that would be B. Bisects. Let's understand the definition of bisects first. Bisects means it cuts it in half. So when that line B goes through here, whatever that angle is over here, line B cuts that angle in half. Now remember the rule about parallel lines. I'm going to draw this a little bit messy over here. If I have two parallel lines, let's pretend that these two lines are parallel and the line intersects them. Spot out your big angles and spot out your small angles. So that's my big, that looks like the big, small, that looks like the big and the small. And keep in mind that any combination of any big plus any small has got to add up to 180. So in this scenario, see how that's my small angle and that's my big angle right there? So I know that this plus that must add up to 180. So if this is 40, that implies that this right here must be 140. And remember, it's saying that B bisects this in half. So that means that this right there must be 70. And that little piece must also be 70, which would imply that this is 40. So if this is 70, this whole angle over here must be 110. Because 110 plus 70 has to be 80. 180. Now, moving back to this old example over here again, any big plus any small must equal 180, and all the bigs are going to equal each other. So you see how this is 110, that's a big angle, and that's also a big angle right there. So the big angles are going to equal each other, so this is also going to be 110. And my answer here is going to be B110. Sorry, C110. That's it. So if this thing bisects, if this is 40 and that's 140, then if this thing bisects right there, that means that this is 70 and this is 70. So that would mean that this is 70 and this is 70 right there. Right, so if this is 70 and this is 70, you know that this whole thing must really be 110. Because any angle, all the angles on a straight line must add up to 180. So if this is 110, this and that are the big angles in this one. So that's your big and that's your big, so they both are 110. And if that doesn't make sense, you can continue with this. If this is 70, this is 70, this must be 40, because then they all add up to 180. Now if this is 70, this is 40, you know that this and this right here, this and this right here are vertical angles. So this is 70 as well. This and this are vertical angles. So this right here is 40. If this is 70, this is 40, then this must be 70 plus 40 is 110. This must be 70. And now this angle for that reason must be 110, because this angle plus that angle have to add up to 180. So you can kind of just play around with it, multiple different ways to figure it out. But it is important to know if it bisects, it cuts it in half. And any big plus any small must equal 180.